been a patient house meeting or so.
Good morning, welcome to your fiscal report. It's Tuesday, April the 16th, a little after 9:30. And our preacher's not here today. There was an emergency at his church. I don't know what kind of emergency it was. But keep them in your prayers. And, yes, ma'am, yeah, go ahead, Ruby.
I was just stating that we need to keep Boston in the prayers when we have there was a bad man, 8-year-old little boy was killed, standing there with a sign with his name on it. Wait for his dad to cross the line. And I was watching it this morning on TV, and it was very, very disheartening to think of someone with take the lives of anyone, but to take the life of an innocent little child is just terrible.
Thank you, Magistrate Ashcroft. I do want to reassure our citizens that here in Bullitt County, we strive on a daily basis to make sure we are safe and sound. That is our first priority, is safety and just being safe. And that is also critical to me. And we're a very blessed county, I think. Our emergency services, our emergency management, Mike Phillips is in charge of that. He's in constant contact with the state of Kentucky, with General Hetzel, who deals with emergency management on the state level. And I'm very proud to say we have a great volunteer. I think we have the best emergency management. I think we have the best sheriff's department, city police departments, and the firefighters. I think all of our firefighters in this county are the best. And we've been through, since I've become judge, we've been through many emergencies. And I want to say, in light of the horrible situation in Connecticut with Sandy Hook, we have our superb superintendent, Keith Davis, here, who, if you want to say something about the safety of our schools, which I am very confident about.
I guess I would mind saying a couple of things. We have, in light of Connecticut, we did a little investigation very quickly on the state of the security of our entrances to our schools, and we found some shortcomings, obviously. Our newest schools, like for instance Crossroads, the latest one in Mount Washington, Bill, had the highest level of security, which means you go in, you have to buzz through the entry door. You get inside, then you go into the alcove, and then you have to buzz in to get into the office before you get in the building. Some of our schools didn't have that feature, and they do now. They all have the alcove for most of them anyway, and the ones with the alcoves now have the security buzz through, and there's 5 others that we're waiting on some information from the Department of Education to finish fixing those. They'll be finished this summer. All of our schools will be up to the same standards, Crossroads Elementary, which is high for the nation, so I think we're in good shape.
And Keith, I saw that excellent article in the Courier Journal not too long ago, where the Bullitt County school system was the headline due to being first in better school security.
Like Mr. Ashball said, that's our most important resource. We need to take care of it as much as we can.
Any questions for the superintendent? Thank you so much, Keith, for your leadership. I'm going to ask Bob Combest. Do you want to come up here, Bob, to say the prayer and the pledge, or do you want to stand back there?
I want to stay back here.
He's our in-house preacher. So stand, please, and Bob will lead the prayer.
Well, great Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us assemble here today. Let us try to remember that in your prayers to people in Boston and the marathon race. We live families and all ones that are injured and killed. Thank you for letting us assemble here on mission. Take care of all our injured people in the military. Be in their prayers. We thank you for letting us assemble here today. Thank you, Lord. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation
Just let us know. Action will be requested.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Ms. Coleman, or Ms. Brown, Ms. Brown, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashbrook?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roederer? Yes. Motion carried.
Thank you, Ms. Randall. The bills as presented by the treasurer's office.
Bills that need your approval that are in your package are dated for April 4th of 2013.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Ms. Randall, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashbrook?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Also presented to you in your treasurer's packet were reports that include the fund receipt report, a monthly revenue journal, an expenditure transfer, a receipt transfer, a long-term liability, an appropriation condition report, and a financial statement through March the 31st of 2013.
Action is requested.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second on the treasurer's report. Any questions or discussion? And Ms. Randall, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashbrook?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Sharp. Thank you, Ms. Brown. Next, we have the approval of the minutes from the April 2nd fiscal court meeting unless changes are desired.
Good. The only thing that I found was, there's a, it says Deputy Sheriff Dave Rainbow. And Dave Rainbow is the sheriff. Oh, very first thing.
In the middle or
Right.
what the word?
Deputy
Oh,
Sheriff.
yeah.
That's all I think. That's pretty good. That was pretty good.
Okay, so you're going here, with that change?
Yes.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes with that change. Any questions or discussion? And Ms. Brandon, you may call it.
Ms. Ashbrook?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. I want you all to welcome Miss Bridget Brown. She's working hard over here as our court clerk, and Donna over here is leading her and mentoring her, but she's got her little laptop. It's a big laptop, Bridget does. So I want to give her a round of applause. Thank you, Donna, for mentoring her, and thank you, Bridget, for being willing to do this. Okay, I'm going to change the agenda a tad. I need to bring up Jimmy Stivers, Director of our road department. Jimmy, please, sir.
I've asked the judge to call this out of order. I've got to go to a hearing involving a child at 10 o'clock, and Candy's going to come here and sit in for me while I walk out and she'll know that.
Okay, the road being requested to be tucked into the county system by the property owners. The paper you have in front of you states that this road has been dedicated to public use and reported in the clerk's office. And a legal description of the right of ways that has been submitted to the Bullitt County Road Department. The name of the road is Cedar Falls Drive, length is 0.92 miles, right of way 50 foot. Inspect this road, meets all the standards set in ordinance number 002-2013
and Candace here, she's much more versed in planning and zoning regulations than I am. In 2003, we had one road ordinance, and the fiscal court updated that in 2006. When this particular subdivision started in 2003, the ordinance that was in place required a bond. The fiscal court went to requiring road bonds basically because of what you all just witnessed with Meadowlark a few weeks ago. It's a consumer protection issue, okay? At that time, Raymond Streetel wrote a letter to the Planning and Zoning Commission and let them know that the folks that were doing the subdivision had not obtained a bond, okay? I have absolutely no way of knowing whether or not the county attorney's office or the attorney representing Planning and Zoning at the time gave notification of it. All I know is that they did not meet the statutory guidelines that you all had established. Today, though, the road does meet the requirements to bring it into the system. The problem I see is that we as a group have tried to treat everyone fairly, okay? So basically, if you look at it just on its face, a subdivision failed to comply with the law that this court had made. But thank goodness, nobody in the subdivision paid the consequence of that, just like Meadowlark has, and even my own subdivision, we had to pay for the road because there was no road bond. When they otherwise met the criteria. Where does that leave us today? The most current ordinance you all had was in 2006. When I came into office, we had 4 subdivisions that were not in compliance, and I wrote letters to each of them, okay? Only one has done the road bond that you require. The other 3 have not. I cannot issue a work stoppage, which should be what we do if we're not following our rules, because your ordinance doesn't allow for that to happen. It has very little teeth to it whatsoever. Basically, it's in the microphone zone. I'm not saying whether you should or shouldn't allow them into the system, but I'm saying in order to protect everyone else from this point forward, I would strongly encourage you to amend your ordinance for these folks that are not compliant. I can read the subdivisions right now that are not compliant. There'll be Sunshine Estates, Old Springhouse Farms, and De La Maison, and they have been notified by me that they are not in compliance. But I really can't do a whole lot because our ordinance won't let me know when to stop working. If the purpose of the ordinance is to comply with a state law to make the roads into the requirements required by KRS, like we just talked about at Middle. That's one thing. But the second thing is also because you all have made this a law, you said we want to protect the people in our community, and we want to require road bond to be put down. I need some way to enforce it. So it's kind of 2 issues here. One, you need to vote on this. I don't know that there's a right answer or a wrong answer. I just want to see the people treated fairly, regardless of what decision you will make. And to do that, we have to amend the ordinance so that I have some authority to put stop work orders in for people that have failed to follow county regulations.
What's the third road in this county?
These aren't roads or subdivisions. The one, Cold Springs was on here when I first got in here, but as soon as I sent them a letter, I think it was just an oversight, and they complied within a matter of days. Okay, and this was in 2011. But the other 3 have been notified. The last notification was in October 2011, and those 3 builders, contractors, have not complied.
And Sunshine Estates has not complied.
Sunshine Estates, Old Springhouse Farms.
They complied, right?
No.
Which one? What's the third one?
De La Maison.
That was actually.
I'm not French. N-A-I-S-O-N is last part.
That one, Michael, went to court, but it was based on the planning and zoning regulations.
Yes,
They hadn't really discussed it.
The only way we have to sue them for anything is to go through planning and zoning. But if you all pass an ordinance that says you, builders, contractors, must have this road bond in place, then we need something in our ordinance that allows us to go in and do a work stoppage without having to go through planning and zoning. Why do we have the ordinance law?
But this ordinance will not
two questions. First, you have a subdivision that's being asked to be taken into your system. Without question, Jimmy's been out there, it meets the guidelines established by KRS to be what we say your road has to be, okay? But in 2003, when they started, the county had a road ordinance in place that required bonds that they did not comply with. So regardless of whatever you all decide here, if you decide, well, we're going to go ahead and allow that in, that's fine. But I think you need to look at how to treat people fairly, because if we're requiring builders, subdivision contractors to have road bonds, and we are, to protect the public, we have to have some way to enforce it. If not, why do we have a regulation at all? Because basically what's happened here, whether it's intentional or I'm not saying that, what's happened here is we got lucky that this builder did finish it the way they were supposed to, and people were taken care of in the neighborhood. But more often than not, that is not how the story goes.
So are these three subdivisions, are they new subdivisions?
In 2011, when I took office, this was one of the first things Jimmy came up and talked to me about. So I have actually no idea when those started. I just know we have sent them letters since I've been here. But if I don't have any keys to that letter, it's just a letter. But it's your law. You're requiring that they're continuing to build, they have no bond. And if we allow somebody in and we don't change this, then I think we're basically saying, you don't have to follow our law. We said that we have this here, but if you're in compliance, we'll let you in.
My idea would be to do an ordinance and make a stop workload or.
We can amend the current ordinance to have some penalties that we can afford. I think that's what it is.
So that's what my motion is. Yeah. So then the
And we can
ordinance-
give you all the proposal, maybe the next meeting, not the meeting after. Candy will have to make it sometime in the spirit.
Do I hear a second to the motion?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Which is in the minutes and stuff for.
Yeah, let's get that clear.
Yeah.
Monica and Jimmy, give us some verbiage on that motion. Have us with the verbiage on just,
They go through the ordinance and she'll have to draw this up.
Yeah, sure, you have no publication, just like with any other ordinance.
So we're just to amend the road.
You're instructing me to draft an amended ordinance, yes.
well,
that's it.
I think the question is, what ordinance, what's the name of the ordinance?
It's 06. Yeah, dash 14.
There we go. Ordinance 06-14.
We still have your main motion, your request.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, and that motion is, Ms. Grant, will you read that out for us?
Yes, the motion is instructing the county attorney to draft an amendment to ordinance 06-14.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? And Ms. Grant, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashball? Yes. Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts? Motion carried.
Okay, we got that accomplished. Now, like the county attorney said, what do we want to do with this request for taking Cedar Falls from the general system?
I think we probably need to wait until after the ordinance on this.
It won't matter, they feel that road is completed and done, go to the county specs, and there's no problem with it. Then completely for the car, completely. It's done. It's fine. I don't have a problem with the road, but you all need to do is make a decision on the bond on this, if you want to cancel the bond for the subdivision because it's not completed, or the date of 2 years go away, or whatever, why you got bond drops from 7
They should at least have 25% bond.
Just understand to your point after they come on.
I don't know how far that is.
Since this meets the criteria, I'm gonna make a motion that we go ahead and accept this as the county road system, and have a vote on it. Go from there.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion?
I have a question, Judge. It was just for information. The other three subdivisions that don't have a bond, where would they stand now if we take this subdivision into the system without ever having an existing bond? Would that be a precedent then for them to come in and request the same thing?
But that's why we're amending our ordinance. These are the only three out there that I'm aware of. And like Pam said, Pam's only already super one. So,
Yeah, I completely agree. They don't have a
yeah, they're not finished.
The difference I see is that the owner are not completed, so there still could be an issue. Whereas this one's completed, it seems to me that the bond is perfect. Once the months of the taxes are in, take care of it.
Okay, any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, Ms. Brandon, call the roll.
Ms. Ashbrook?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes, and I'm glad that we're going to amend that ordinance, because I like to kind of turn it into later. So the answer is yes.
Yes, first period.
Thank you, Mr. Lane. Okay.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you so much. Okay, back to our presentations, back on track with our agenda. We have Mr. Bill Duffy, Mr. Steve Roederer here. Mr. Steve Roederer. Also, we have Gary Lee here. Where's Gary? There he is. All right, these folks are going to make a presentation to you that's really, really important for certain areas of Bullitt County. And really, come on, guys, I'm going to get started. And it's really, really important for all areas because, as I've been saying for the last 6 years, we need planning in this county. Planning. We have too much zoning. And I'm going to let these folks talk about something that could happen and may not be most beneficial. Take it away, Bill.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, magistrates and ladies and gentlemen. Fortunately, my presentation will be very brief, and Steve, who is the expert on the roads, will show you some information we hope will be informative as well as entertaining over there. In this process, we started out examining the road situation for a reason that concerns a bridge and a connector road from Highway 44 to 480. So we started looking at all the roads in the county, and Steve has outlined, he created a couple of maps and has outlined the presentation regarding those. What I wanted to discuss was the process itself that we learned about. The process of developing roads actually begins with the citizens of the county. And it goes up from the citizens' wishes to an agency called KIPTA, which stands for Kentucky Indiana Regional Planning Agency. Hope I have it right. Anyway, KIPTA serves as an advisor to the Kentucky Department of Transportation, and then Transportation Department works with the legislature in getting funding for various roads.
Now, why this is important, because we are in a district of KIPTA that includes Jefferson County and the surrounding counties. And so, in fact, we are in competition not only with Jefferson County for limited funds, I think everybody knows there's limited funds available, but also the surrounding counties. And we had a meeting with the folks at KIPTA, and we are the only county that does not have an advocate, a land use planner, that goes to these meetings, tells the KIPTA folks what our citizens need, what our citizens want. So we are at a severe disadvantage when it comes to asking for funds. Former Representative Belcher did a great job, Senator Comeback, in getting money for our county. It's beyond us how they did that without day-to-day advocate going up there. So with that in mind, I'm going to turn it over to Steve Freilicher. Steve is a lifelong resident of Bullitt County, and he's also an engineer. So I hope that if you have any questions after his presentation, I'll let you know.
Judge and magistrates and ladies and gentlemen, thanks for having us. This has been it's been quite a journey for us. Bill and I have become friends. We've learned a lot as we've gone through this whole thing. We were just kind of minding our own business, so to speak, living our lives, and all of a sudden we became old people last year. But anyway, I'm going to thank you all for having us. And the first thing we'd like to do is just go over what the 6-year plan is. A lot of folks, this kind of comes up as a, it's kind of a baseline discussion. Okay, what does the county have, the KYPC and the county have coming up in 6 years? So just briefly, and I'll talk loud. This is a county map of our current 6-year plan. And what I'd like to do is just kind of start at the eastern side of the county and go west. And what we have in the 6-year plan right now is an expansion of Highway 44 in the eastern side of the county from Mount Washington in the Key Church Road. And this would be a 3-lane expansion of the highway. Now, one of the things, and I think everybody knows this, Highway 44 in this county is extremely busy. It's in some places it's hazardous, and so there's an awful lot of focus on what to do. There has been an awful lot of focus on what to do with Highway 44, and a lot of times we use the term blow the steam off of Highway 44. There's a ton of congestion in and around Mount Washington, a ton of congestion in and around Shepherdsville, and in between it can be pretty nasty as well. So talking about some of the in-between nasty parts, there's an intersection at Armstrong and Fisher Lane, at Bells Mill and Bogard and Lloyd's Lane, also at Bells Mill. These areas right here are high crash zones. In the 6-year plan, these should be coming up pretty soon. These particular zones should be going to a 3-lane expansion, just very locally in those areas. I used to live right here off of Bells Mill, and I think once a year they fly in a chopper to pull somebody out of to take somebody into the hospital for severe wrecks in this area. So this is a real sore point. Heading down into Shepherdsville, there's going to be an expansion of Highway 61. Part of it's already done, and it's going to continue from Brooks down to the Salt River. Basically, so this is going to be an expansion of Highway 61 or South Florida. The other thing that's on the slate is expansion of 480 from Cedar Grove Elementary School out to Valley View Drive. We're not sure if that's going to be a 3-lane or 5-lane expansion, but there's going to be an expansion. There is an expansion plan for 480 in that area. Okay, down here in Bernheim Forest, or close to Bernheim, there's an expansion of 245. And that's going to facilitate tourism down this area. So there'll be expansion from 65 out past the distillery a little bit. So that's about where that's at. Now up here, there's a couple of items that are on the 6-year plan that have to do with new routes. One new route is a bypass around Mount Washington. So this one goes down Greenbrier Lane, Wells Run Road, and then starting right out here, there's a brand new strip of road that'll go down to 31E. That's right now, that's in what they call the design phase. So this is meant to bypass Mount Washington, basically take all the commuters that are in this area of Highway 44 from the subdivisions and give them a route into Louisville without going through downtown Mount Washington. The other one is the Salt River Crossing. That's this one. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this one here in a second. The Salt River Crossing is slated, or we have a map from the KYPC that shows it going right up Valley Drive, across the golf course, right next to Shawnee Acres, across Halls Lane, across Floyd's Fork, and hooking into 61. So this is this is what's on the KYPC map at the moment for study. So that's basically what we got on the 6-year plan. Any questions so far? Yes, ma'am.
If you go across Hall's Lane, well, I'm not saying any, if you go across Hall's Lane, will there not have to be another bridge to go the whole?
Yes, ma'am. Right now, the study, what they call, I'll show it to you in a second. The study document only shows, as part of the study, 44 to 480, which would be this section of the road. And this would be Heritage Parkway. This would be the golf course, which was up for rezoning from light industrial this time. This time land. And then this is Highway 44, where it's supposed to terminate. But then the state map shows it continuing across Floyd's Fork Highway here, and right past the rock quarry and terminating into 61. That's what they show. So the next map is from the Kentucky Department of Transportation. This is their map. This is what they published. Now I did make some modifications to it. So briefly, the modifications I made to the map are these red circles right here. This red circle and this red circle. And then I put these numbers down through here. So essentially what this is this is Highway 480 right here. This is Cedar Grove Elementary School. Zappos is located right about here. Salt River, Floyd's Fork, you can kind of barely see it there. Highway 44 right there. I-65 of course. And Shepherdsville right here, part of Shepherdsville. And so this is the road. This yellow line is the exact tracing on the satellite map of this road. And so this road goes up Valley Drive, goes past these neighborhoods, goes through the golf course, and then goes right past Shawnee Acres into 44. Now what they show is end of new route, beginning of new route. But then they continue the route on up past Halls Lane, or up across Halls Lane twice. They go across the road right here, and then it terminates into 61 at this location. So this new route essentially goes past these subdivisions. Now, one of the things that we talked about, we discussed with some folks, is there's a couple of curious things here on this map. Now keep in mind that this is a state map. There's a warehouse here. This warehouse does not exist. It is not there. There's also 2 roads here supporting these warehouses. Those roads don't exist. They're not there. Those roads go up and they terminate into this new route. The other thing that's curious about this map is this little circle here. There's a purple dotted line running down through here. Okay, well what that is that's an alternate Salt River crossing. That is the exact crossing that was presented to us at our planning and zoning meeting this time last year, June of last year. That's the exact crossing. This crossing was presented by Lee Wilburn at Crosstalk. These warehouses are to be developed by Lee Wilburn at Crosstalk. So what is on this state map is information that somehow got here from Lee Wilburn. We don't know how. We could have been consulted, what have you, but that is his stuff on this state map. How it got there, we don't know. So what we're guessing, so to speak, is that since this whole area here went up to light industrial, and this is going to be light industrial, and this road would potentially go through, that the next logical step would be to go back and make this light industrial. Go back and take another bite at the apple. So then, what you have is you have this would basically become, at least this part of it, would become an industrial highway going through these neighborhoods. That's what we're talking about. So with that in mind, we developed some alternatives. We don't think, from where we sit, we don't think it's a good idea to mix residential and light industrial. We don't think it's good for us as individuals. We don't think it's good for Shepherdsville. We don't think it's good for the county. So what we talk to folks about is some alternatives. So our alternatives that we would present would be basically alternatives to keep residential and industrial separate. And this is something that's come up in the land use plan meetings. And another reason why we think the county needs a land use plan is we need somebody actively all the time looking at how we accommodate subdivisions, people, industry, businesses that support business and the subdivisions. They can coordinate future parks if Bullitt County so chooses to develop a park system. Can coordinate the towns in this county, because we need more coordination between the cities and also the county areas. Also work with state and federal agencies. And we think we need a land use planner that can keep up the map, keep it up to date all the time, to work with all these different entities to plan the county more efficiently into the future. So we think that that's would be a vital add to our county government. The alternative improvements that we'd like to go over is fixing Highway 44 in critical areas. Now, Highway 44 is a mess from the standpoint of right-of-way. That whole length of road there has got setbacks on that road are not, they're just not ideal for going to a 5-lane. There's a lot of costs associated with purchase of right-of-way and moving of utilities. So one of the recommendations from the state actually is to kind of take a incremental approach to Highway 44. So we'll go over that in just a second. The second thing is to provide a southern entrance to the business park. That's this orange right here at the bottom. And we've said many times, we're not against the growth of business or the growth of these warehouses. We just want to make sure that they're done in such a way that they're not mixed in with the industrial. So we would certainly welcome the business opportunity that comes from the warehouses. We just want to make sure that the growth happens in a way that makes the county livable, very livable for folks who want to move out here and live here now. Fix the northbound commuter traffic, and then use the moving lane as an industrial bypass. So I'll just quickly go through these. This is a map that we presented, which is basically a bypass around Mount Washington, as we talked about, fixing Highway 44 in these critical areas. These crash zones right here should be top priority. These are pretty nasty areas. The other approach is widening Highway 44, but just in the town centers. So Highway 44 will go 3 or 5 lane just in the town centers, and then we'll fix the critical crash zones. The other one's a bypass around Mount Washington, as well as a bypass around Shepherdsville here, along with an interchange at 61 and 65. So these changes right here would be intended to help commuter traffic in and out, to the citizens in and out of the county. Okay, then these changes down here would be intended to encourage industrial growth. So one of them would be an interchange south of Bullitt. It would be located down here, and this would support a separate entrance for commuter traffic, the commuter traffic in the industrial parks and the tractor trailer traffic, and alleviate this part. The other one is this one, Roederer, which would be a route down Moody Lane, and this would be a way for folks who are working at the industrial parks in Fiscal County and Eastern Bullitt County to go directly into the industrial parks without going through town and then back out. So this basically, these changes right here can all be done without disrupting neighborhoods in the area, particularly these neighborhoods right here, up and down this section. So going through it in detail, this is from the state map, Improved Highway 44, and this is the study. And this is basically just a bunch of options. So, the yellow are local improvements at those intersections. These light green, those are 3 or 5 lane improvements in this area and in this area. And then this dark green would be an eventual widening of Highway 44 to 3 or 5 lanes. So essentially what they were recommending was to take a close look at incremental improvements to Highway 44. And we think that town centers and high crash zones ought to be what we ought to be looking at Highway 44. Next one is the interchange south of 480. Okay, so this interchange should keep industrial growth down the corridor of I-65, and it would provide, more or less a dedicated interest for industrial growth. So this would help out the need for warehouse space along the I-65 corridor. So this is all intended to keep 65 for industrial close to I-65. The next one is bypass around Shepherdsville. Everybody that's been down to Bardstown knows that there's a 245 goes right across the rock wall. And so what we're recommending is something similar, but not quite as drastic as going across a pit. So what we're recommending is a route like this to either go along the rock quarry boundary through the rock quarry and then skirt the edge of that pit and then cross right here at Floyd's Ford and then come out on 44. And if you notice, there are no neighborhoods here and no neighborhoods up here. This can be done without disturbing any neighborhoods. The other thing in conjunction with this is an interchange at 61 and 65. So this interchange, instead of folks going all the way down to Shepherdsville and turning back around through downtown Shepherdsville, coming up 61 to get home, or going into western Shepherdsville, they can get off here, and by that time 61 will be improved, so you can get off here and you can service western Shepherdsville, or you can service northern Shepherdsville, or these areas with this new interchange. This route right here would essentially alleviate Highway 44, a lot of traffic on Highway 44. So this one blows the steam off of 44. This serves the northern Shepherdsville area right here. All right, the next one is the Salt River crossing in Moody Lane. This one is basically what Crosstalk recommended. It's pretty much verbatim. So it goes up Moody Lane, across pretty much these fields, across the Salt River, and then truncates into 61. Again, this would provide a backdoor entrance into the industrial park without disturbing, destroying the golf course and disturbing all these neighborhoods up and down this route. So that's kind of what we recommended. That's the way that's our set of recommendations so far as solving the traffic problem, mostly in Highway 44. Two things, really trying to get the users in and out, also starting the industrial. So with that, are there any questions? Oh, go ahead, sir.
You're talking a planner. We don't have one of those. Is there money to hire one?
Yes. I have put the funding for a planner in my budget for the last several years. probably since I've been sitting in the chair. Unfortunately, some magistrates continue to take it out.
Okay, I just want to know.
Thank you. It's easy to follow a engineer. He covered almost every detail that we covered on this. Thank you so much for having us today. Again, my name is Gary Lee. I represent the Roederer Business Park. Roederer Business Park is where Zappos is located, along with another building. That is a farm where I grew up. I was the sixth generation to grow up behind the farm. The farm was actually purchased by my family in 1780. So that's another story completely. But in 1999, we formulated the idea of the Roederer Business Park along with Cedar Grove Business Park. Yeah, that might help. Sure. Cedar Grove Business Park was started in 1999. We, along with Cedar Grove, started the Roederer Business Park. The two lots for Zappos and the other building that Loft developed, of course, has been built and maybe familiar with both of those. They are here. This is Zappos. This is the Loft building, number 2. Everybody see it? In between the two buildings is Zappos.com Boulevard, and it is completed to this point. Across from Zappos is Omega Drive, which is the main entrance to the Cedar Grove Business Park. What we are proposing to complement what Steve and Bill were talking about, this is Moody Lane. I think that is an acceptable crossing or approach to the bridge. The only issue I see with Moody Lane is this is Cedar Grove School. Potentially you would have truck traffic going from Salt River Business Park and Cedar Grove Business Park turning and going that direction. The map you have simply shows the extension of Zappos.com Boulevard coming back here and intersecting with this map. That would tie, and that I believe is on this map here, showing this yellow line coming between the two buildings and going over to the proposed road or approach to the bridge. My feeling that would be superior because it would tie this thing work. It would tie the business park, Cedar Grove Business Park together, Salt River Business Park would be an alternative out to the north. The other proposal of a interchange to the back of the Cedar Grove Business Park would give you an approach going south now. So if you put this all together, this would be ideal. You come in, you for southbound, you exit through the back of the Cedar Grove Business Park. Northbound could exit out of the north entrance to the Cedar Grove, the Salt River Business Park. That's all I have. Thank you very much for having us. Are there any questions?
I have
Yes,
one
ma'am.
question, and I'm not involved in any of this, but why do you think you need a new road going from near Zappos up to 44 when we're so close to 65 now that you can just 2 miles and you can hop on 65 and go?
Yeah, great question. I think anytime you can have more alternatives is better. Any development, whether it be residential or commercial industrial development, the more access you have, typically the better. Great question. The only thing I wanted to add was, I think what we would like to see, or at least as concerned citizens of Bullitt County, I hope you get a t-shirt someday, I'm trying hard, is to find support for the bridge itself. We can go on and on about different approaches to the bridge, north, south, south, what road should be in. But I think what I'd like to see is support from the court, from the concerned citizens, from the business community, all on the fact that we do want a bridge and that we can all work together and find the best approach to it.
I think our agreements are going to get those by, example.com, should be the ones that takes it away from the school.
Takes away from the school, Ruthie, and it is. You know, the road is there. You know, there isn't a light there at City Road and Maven and that road. So, you know, those things can be easily changed. That one could easily be widened to accommodate more traffic if needed. And like, of course, all those things can be done with Moody Lane. One thing about Moody, you've got a longer stretch from Cedar Road to 44 than you do this direction, a little bit closer.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Why do you think the two buildings that was on the other map are there? Are there people in Frankfort making decisions for us here in Bullitt County that we don't know of?
I wouldn't want to speculate on that, but I would, my reaction to that would be no. I'm familiar with those two buildings and why they're there. They were in pursuit of the Amazon deal. Amazon put out a proposal about 4 years ago, wanting 1 million square foot facilities that were next to each other. If you look at that map, well, it's not.
Yeah.
It's fine, I'm gonna bring it up. That is exactly what was proposed by Amazon regionally. I'm talking about all over the United States. So, in my opinion, that was put there to attract Amazon. Who put that in there, how it ended up on the state map, had no idea.
Well, that makes better sense.
That makes sense to me that would be there. Obviously, the Amazon deal is gone. They went to southern Indiana, and they only built one building. But that's kind of the way those things come about. A company like Zappos, a company like as big as Amazon, they'll put out proposals for several buildings. A building for a huge area, and then of course developers will say, "Hey, I've got a great spot right there," and that's how it comes about.
Good answer.
Yes.
Anybody look at our comprehensive plan for the county?
I'm sorry?
Did anyone look at our comprehensive plan for the county?
Anyone as far as who?
Your group?
My comprehensive plan for the county.
Let's see. I'm sorry,
It is.
okay, and let's see. As far as like how to place warehouses, or
No, it tells you how to develop your county.
yeah, we actually pulled it up, and we're just citizens like you are. And we got pulled into this thing with the rezoning, and one of the very first things we did was find a comprehensive land use plan. Now, the comprehensive land use plan hasn't been materially updated since 1997. And where it shows us being, where we're at, it shows us being a low-density residential. And so when you look at all the stuff that's taking place through here, the comprehensive land use plan says low-density residential, but a lot of it is changed to light industrial. Now, what's happened this year, 2013, is this comprehensive land use plan is being redone by Chris Lowry. We're attending those meetings, and have everybody attend those meetings. And she's going to go through and talk to all the different stakeholders in the county and come up with a new comprehensive land use plan. And then what we'd like to see is a land use planner, full-time or part-time or something, that continuously updates it every year or every 6 months or as it changes, so that the county planning can take place a little bit more carefully. Because frankly, we were stunned, when what happened to us happened. we were like, gosh, I thought these were residential, and we're gonna be like that. You know? So,
Well, that's meant for a guide. I know it needs to be updated.
yeah.
Hadn't been updated since I was on the planning and zoning. But I heard it was, they were doing it.
It's, I think it's fair to say it's outdated. And it's gonna be updated this year.
If we got a land use planner full time, we would back that person or company with their recommendations.
I would hope this fiscal court would, I can't speak for the magistrates, as far as parking them, I would hope the planning commission would listen to that, the expert knowledge, and I would hope the commissioners would listen.
As long as he would let the planning commission know that, people, what the people request, what they want. They, very clear, when those are planning and zoning meetings, they'll share their own stuff. They're not going stones and nothing like that. I just feel like the person might need to recommend information.
Well, one thing I've noticed, since I've been kind of going to various meetings, and I still don't understand it, maybe I never will, is businesses can come in, we'll just use 4 and 4 for example, and they'll agree to all these setbacks. And go floor plan and zoning. And a week or two later, their Board of Adjustments asking to encroach closer for it. And the one that I know of for sure that was granted. I mean, it didn't go in and go through this business, but it seems like until we can get Board of Adjustments and planning and zoning working together, and what's agreed at one place can be offset by another. And it just seems like, you know, I guess, why go before planning and zoning except we have to and agree to these setbacks, and you know, you can probably go to Board of Adjustments, and they're not always going to change, but there seems like there's kind of leaning toward the business.
And those two boards, the Board of Adjustments and the Planning Commission, they are, several of those people are appointed by fiscal court, and another one's appointed by the cities, the 8 cities we have in our county. So in order to make an impact, my suggestion would be to talk to the Board of Adjustment members and the Planning Commission members. Or the magistrates here, or the city councils out there. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you very much, I don't know how you leave here. Thank you, Gary. Okay, I have a few statements I want to make. In the last Wednesday edition of County News, the number one reason why people prefer not to live here or move to Bullitt County is because of the good old boy system. Number two, as was mentioned, I firmly believe we need a land use planner. And I've said about that. I've stated all I can say. I've stated all I can say about the land use planner. It's going to take you, the people, to get your elected officials to do what you want them to do. I do want to say thank you so much to Bill, Duffy, and Steve Trailer. Gary, thank you so much for coming down. Again, government is about you, the people. And on May the 21st, folks from the Kentucky Department of Transportation will be here to talk about the rural secondary road paving program. And at that meeting, I'm inviting all of you, anybody that wants to come, because I'm going to ask questions about road projects that are planned, or Steve's kind of gone over all of that. Road projects that will be constructed, and so we can figure out what's going on. I would encourage elected officials to talk to their cities, to find out what projects they're needing. If we're gonna get on a cohesive page, then we need to do some talking, we need to do some planning. And that's just not happening. Talking and planning is just not happening.
Is that meeting going to be here and what time?
It's going to be May the 21st at 9:30. It's a regular fiscal court meeting. And Matt Bullitt, who is the District 5, I think he's the District 5, is he the District 5 engineer?
Yes.
Yes, okay. He makes a lot of decisions on who gets what. He'll be here, and that'll be our time, that'll be the fiscal court's time to advocate to those folks that work in Frankfurt. This is what we want, this is what we need, things like that. But folks, we need a cohesive list of road priorities. I hear all the time from the people in Frankfurt, well, you come up here, Judge, but there are cities out there that are coming up here to me that want this, that, and this. Can't you all get together? Any other questions? Again, I believe in using people, you're the government, we're the elected officials. Talk to your elected officials if you want to. That's up to you. Okay, let's have Jim Knox come up, talk about outside lighting at the jail. Guys, thank you so much. Thanks.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jayla.
We had looked at our lighting on, they looked at where they got started. And we were trying to figure out a way to, save on the lighting cost. Because with our lighting outside, it's above so expensive, and we found that they are going out quite a bit, and it keeps our maintenance guys going out and changing those bulbs. So we got with LG&E, we got with the electrical people, the suppliers our bulbs, and we put up a little table here for the usage of our bulbs per year is 4,380 hours, which cost is, if you break it down, is 0.04 per hour or per kilowatt. We have a quantity of 44 of the 100 watts, 21 of the 200, and 8 of the 400. So if we take all those totals and put them together, we have a usage of 2,375.01. If we change to the LED pack lights with 46 instead of the 44, and 10 instead of the 21, and then the 8 will stay the same, we will have a savings of 300. The total what will cost us per year for the same amount of lighting, better lighting than what we have now, which costs us $2,375.01. It would be $308.18. But the bottom line of this is also we will have to, in order to put these in place, because we do have to put the pipes in place, which our maintenance guys will be, are capable of putting the pipes up. But the cost of the pipes is going to be $15,495 in order to put it in place, in order to get the savings at the end of the year. Which these light bulbs have a 10-year warranty with they're telling us that it can be up to 20 years on one bulb, but it has a 10-year warranty. So if one of the bulbs go out within the 10-year period, they will replace that bulb. They also said, if you want more detail on it, I mean, I'm just bringing it to you all so that you see what Davis is trying to cut back on some of this outside lighting, but it is a repeating. You take man hours, so we have to put it out there. You take buying the bulbs. Every time we buy them, we have to buy the bulb off the shipping of the bulbs that come there. It doesn't seem like it would be a big thing, but it's a task. So that's why we try to break it down to try to lower the cost to be more effective. But they were willing to come out and go into more detail if that's what you all want. But I didn't want to have them to do that if you all didn't want to go any farther with it.
What is wrong with what you have now other than you're saying cost?
Because the cost and the lighting is not effective. It's nowhere near what we got here. So these are LED lights, which are...
Would it be better lighting?
It's much better lighting.
Friday night it looked like 4th Street Live out there in that town.
Yeah, but that's only in some of the areas.
It is, myself.
Yeah, but that's in some of the areas, and that's not from the inside control room where you can see out.
Can you not get LED bulbs and just use it in your...
Not in those, no.
How old is this lighting system you've got now? 5 years?
No, old jail. Been there. Actually, our whole lighting system inside our jail and outside our jail was obsolete when we put it in. We cannot go in and just change a balance in our light because for some reason they got it out of the warehouse and there is no more. So it's not just simple as going up and changing the bulb. They don't exist anymore. So we can't, when the whole balance goes out, it's out. I mean, we have to go in and change the whole unit out. They don't exist anymore. The same thing on the outside of our lighting. And it burns the bulbs down, I mean, quickly. When you're talking about a bulb that costs $30, $40 per bulb. And then you changing these out, we can't keep up with it. Just and like I said, when you're up here, it does look pretty bright, but nothing like it should be. And there's all kinds of dark corners, but that's a big thing. But the total savings is what cost me more than the lighting.
Seems very high to me.
And the thing is, they're not going to get any cheaper because, again, we have the unit that they just don't supply that often anymore. Mainly everything is going to the LED lights.
If we're going to spend this kind of money, I would like to see 2 or 3 bids.
I can see if they can come up with that. I mean, I'm not sure, but like I said, I can ask them to come pick with them all. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay, so no action is, you don't want to take any action today?
I think we need to have some kind of administrative
So you want the jailer to bring some ideas like you just said?
Well, I'm not sure we even need one, like I said, it looked very light to me. I can't see why this jail is, how many years old is the jail?
Well,
I can't believe it was antiquated when it was put in. But I guess
well, it was. I mean, it was like that when it was put in. There's a lot of things that wasn't. It shouldn't.
shame on them, you know?
I don't think they were writing it. I think it was the contractor that did that.
Okay, so do we want, what do you want to do? Do you want 3 bids, or do you just not want to do it?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I think we need to save as much money as we can, but I'm not so sure I know that this would be the cheapest route to take. So I think we should wait a little bit to this report, get some other people to give us what the cost as far as getting the LED bulbs and put in there. If they can use the same light or if they can see what the parts are.
Let's have a jailer pick those. Jailer, you mind getting those calls? Bring them 3 estimates to the next fiscal court meeting.
Yeah, we do that on the 2 hours.
Does that suit everyone here? All right, at the next fiscal court meeting, jailer, bring 3 more cost estimates. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Spud Skidmore, the Director of the Soil Conservation Agency, City Valley Secretary, and Board Member Norman Gilbert. Come on up here, son.
My presentation's not going to take care of this long. What I do want to say is, over the past 3 years, our board has been able to gather in and bring in some $104,000 for the junk pickup. With this check here, it makes $22,500. Dead animals, we brought in $15,000 to the county. We still have $1,000 of that left to run through July. And then we've already put in for running connection. A couple of weeks ago, we gave out trees to more than 65 families before we got we'll be having 300 third graders next week. That was the extension office for Fall Field. With that said, I have this check here for $7,500 to be used for jumping.
Oh, Manager of Fiscal, are you willing to accept this check?
I'll take it.
Thank you, Spud and Soil Conservation. You'll be able to stand down there. If you don't run, let's go ahead and discuss that the soil conservation budget that's under old business, since we have the soil conservation folks here. All right, let's see. Okay, under old business presentation of Bullitt County Conservation District annual payment report in 2014 budget. Managers, I'll let you take it away. You'll have the chairman over here as special and secretary. And board members.
I have a question. Roger looks there on. We've got in here for an expenditure, an audit is nothing. It doesn't cost anything.
No, we help with.
We are audited every 5 years by state conservation. They bring in an auditing agency, and what they do is we apply for direct aid money. They take the money out of our direct aid. We never know how much we're gonna get, but say we get $2,000 and all of it is $1,000, then they take the money before we ever see it in our account.
And this check that you just gave us was for recycling or?
It's environmental cleanup. And that is state money.
That's money we can only spend for environmental purposes. There's other grants that are available, as long as we don't receive them. We can do white good cleanup, we can do sinkhole cleanup. There's lists and lists of money that they give the county throughout the state of Kentucky. But for right now, we're doing dead animal funds and junk pickup.
Also, I was wanting to know what the library support is.
On library support, one of the, on library support, we like to have videos available. We've got one right now that we purchased on Black Sunday. It's why the conservation districts were formed back in the 1930s. And we have videos and booklets on Black Sunday that are available in schools. We also have, I just ordered these, backyard conservation. It goes through gardening, composting, wildlife, things that are available to the schools.
And cooperators meals.
That's when we go for these out-town trainings, and we eat before we come home.
I just wanted kind of a brief knowledge of what's going on here.
We're open for it, but we'll tell you what we know.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Is this 125, I'm sorry, is this 125,984, is that what you're requesting from the fiscal court?
Okay, from fiscal court, we're requesting 108,984. That 125 is, if you add in, you'll see state funds of $1,500. That's not a guaranteed amount of money. The state, just like the county government, are short of funds. Direct aid is from state conservation. But anything, before we would be homeless like we were this time last year, the year before, we had asked for emergency funds. The state, if they have funds, they will help us with rent. One of the things that we've run into that has been a big problem, we were in a service center with Farm Service Agency, which is a federal agency. We were also sharing rent, utilities, insurance, telephone with Natural Resources Conservation. Natural Resources Conservation moved out. They moved to Jefferson County. They take care of, they take care of Jefferson County, Bullitt County, and Owen County, but they moved out. They no longer contribute to rent to Bullitt County. FSA moved to Shelbyville, to the new service center, so we lost that support. So the building that we were in was a high rent district. We couldn't afford it, so we are in the process of buying our own little place. We've got a really good buy on it in that regard. We'll be able to do some of our practices that are in this little booklet, but we were going to be homeless.
And we were able to acquire a loan from the state at 2%. And it's taken 6 months to probably pay for it, but we did something.
We plan on having an open house if we ever get the building in our name.
How many people is this health insurance on? Just yours?
There's no home insurance.
It's on here for $6,047.53. Maybe your figures are just a little bit.
Okay, that is retirement. I don't have any home insurance.
Okay.
And that is county employees' retirement insurance, and that's the same insurance that Fiscal Court has.
And that's for how many people?
That's the one.
Exactly what we're going to supervise.
Do I hear a second to that motion? We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? The motion is under table. Okay, any questions? Go ahead, questions? While you're here. Yeah, go ahead. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you for the money. Okay, hearing no other questions or discussion, let's bring it to the call.
Ms. Ashland?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Crenshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roederer?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yes, ma'am. All right, we'll bring that up again. Managers, do you want to put this on the next fiscal court meeting agenda? Yeah.
Just as a
All right, then, moving on to Brian now, Director of Planning and Zoning. We have 3 zoning requests for County Director.
thank you for taking the time to study all these new roads and everything. But I would also like to let everybody know that the planning commission and my staff have been working on the new comprehensive plan since 2010. And we recently got approved to hire Chris Bullitt to help us finish the comprehensive plan. So city officials, just anybody in the county attend these meetings because your voice is very important in this comprehensive plan. First one I have is Carrie Watson, docket number 2013-Z09. They're asking to rezone from agricultural to B1 county business and it's 3.6 acres. The County Planning Commission heard this case on March 14th, 2013, and their recommendation was to approve this even though it does not meet the comprehensive plan. The business has been in operation for more than 10 years, and by rezoning this property, it will bring the use into compliance with the current zoning regulations.
An ordinance changing the zoning from agricultural to B1 highway business. The property in question is 3.06 acres more or less. I've dropped my paper that moment. Located at 1239 Brownington Road in an unincorporated area of the county. Be it ordained by the fiscal court of the county of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky. In summary, number 1 sets forth that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission and docket number 2013-Z-09 is hereby changed from agricultural to B1 highway business. Given the first reading at the regular meeting of the Board of Report on this 16th day of April 2013, and the second reading will be on May 7th, 2013.
Thank you all. Is there anyone here that wants to speak in favor of this planning and zoning request? This zoning request? Yes, come on up.
Mr. Watson also has a companion on the same track, so maybe about over here, both at the same time.
Yes, let's take care of both at the same time.
Okay, the second one is 2013-Z-10. Carrie Watson is asking to rezone 1.3 acres from agricultural to R1 residential. The Planning Commission did hear this case on March the 14th, and they recommended to approve it because the property is too small to remain agricultural. It does not meet the comprehensive plan, which is agricultural, but it does meet the comprehensive plan, which is agricultural, rural residential.
An ordinance changing the zoning from agricultural to R1 residential. The property in question is 4.03 acres more or less, located at 1239 Brownington Road in an unincorporated area of the county. Be it ordained by the fiscal court of the county of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky. In summary, number 1 sets forth that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission and docket number 2013-Z-10 is hereby changed from agricultural to R1 residential. Given first reading at the regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 16th day of April 2013, and will be given the second reading voted on at the fiscal court meeting on the 7th day of May 2013.
Okay, thank you, County Attorney. Yes, Mr. Joel, Mr. Wantley, and Mr. Watson. Come on up and advocate for yourselves.
Thank you very much.
Great case.
For the presentation. We're going to adopt the,
If you're going to talk, you don't need to swear, he's going to talk.
court may have questions. With reference to Watson, he's going to talk a little bit about the area. And if I may approach, this gives you a copy of the plan, gives you something to look at. Right here, the property immediately to the north. It's residential, but it's multi-family. It's subsidized housing. There's R4 throughout the area. The area is mixed, but thank goodness for today we're talking about a county road, Brownington Road. I am going to present this to the court, and you can look at the property on the right there.
Mr. Watson, are you ready to write it in? You swear to state your name and address and that's the truth on the document. You can state your name and address on the record.
Mr. Watson, you have operated your business with property for 19 years now? 18, 19 years. You have residence on the property as well? Generally, this area, you would say it was developed in a farm agricultural type setting?
And over a period of time, people have developed their own home industry on their property. I mean, it's a mixed use type area. I mean, people brought their machinery home with them, they do excavating work, they've got farm machinery, they've got pretty much everything we can. As the property is federally zoned, it's not, provisions now, it's not for any agricultural use. I mean, that's that. For residential, we call the R4 zoning and the low-income housing, it's really not really developed single family. And you don't think if you developed an R4 setting, which is right there, you would not want to go along there because your intention is to continue the same use. So the court has the understanding of what you're talking about, and I appreciate you all that. You all already have a lot of money. Just take a moment and describe the various uses of the area. Just go before the rest of the introduce plans.
First photo is Cedar Road, CCR, Paints Shop. Photo number 2 is ground excavating, right around the corner, walking system on property. Third place is body shop on Roederer. The fourth one is elementary, body shop is the property. Following the restaurant price, which is also
This type of development, as far as use of properties throughout the area, I mean, it's not actually what I'm saying. You're not going to be in people and all this today. You've been there for 19 years. Gay problems. And do your testimony today that our order development, which is adjacent to your property, is not allowed. You have to see that we get that filtered. And that causes them to live that. We're going to ask you that. There is no opposition at the commission. Today, we have to take support for the achievement of the board. Our area support. I'm familiar with the property here. We are registering the property that we use, so there's no question about that now. So that's looking, I was just there Saturday and looked at it.
Okay, so we have had our, thank you all, thank you, Mr. Watson, thank you, Mr. Watson. We've had the advocating for this. Is there anyone here that wants to speak in opposition of this zoning request? And hearing none, I believe that ends this portion of the zoning procedures. Thank you. No, y'all want this? Thank you. Thank you for everything, Joe. All right. Now, the vote will be taken at the next fiscal court meeting, okay?
We showed it in May.
Yeah, May the 2nd? Second.
I'm saying second.
May the 7th, is that correct? Yes. I hear a yes. May 7th. Thank you all so much. Okay.
Okay, our next case is docket number 2013-Z-11. Applicants are Timothy B. Fackler, Jen Fackler, and James Fackler. They're asking to rezone .90 acres from R2A and R2 to R1 residential. The planning commission heard this case on March 14th, and the existing zone, they made a recommendation to approve this because the existing zoning classification is inappropriate and the requested classification is more appropriate. This property is too small to remain agricultural under the current zoning regulations.
does meet the comprehensive plan, which is agricultural, rural residential, and it also adjoins other residential properties.
An ordinance changing the zoning from agricultural and R2 residential to R1 residential. The property in question is 0.9 acres more or less located at Bullitt Road in an unincorporated area of the county. Be ordained by the fiscal court of the county of Bullitt, Commonwealth, Kentucky in summary. Number 1 sets forth that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the planning commission adopted number 2013-11 is hereby changed from agricultural and R2 residential to R1 residential. Given the first reading at the regular meeting of the Bullitt County Municipal Court on the 16th day of April 2013, and given a second reading and a vote will be at the regular meeting of the Bullitt County Municipal Court on the 7th day of May 2013.
Thank you, County Attorney and Director. Is there anyone here that wants to speak in favor of this planning and zoning? I'm sorry, say planning. Speak in favor of this zoning request. We have Ms. Janet White and Mark Edison.
May it please the court, basically the situation that existed, Ms. Fackler and her husband and son bought this property with their parents. This 9/10 of an acre was created in 2002 for the use of granddaughter as a mobile home currently located on property. As long as Mr. Ms. Foley on the property, they own 55 acres. There's no problem with the mobile home, no problem with that zone. Now that Mr. Foley has died, I would apply this property as a freestanding 9/10 of an acre tract. There is a restriction on it when the mobile home is moved. For a granddaughter, it would be used for a sleeping house with the rest of the property bought in compliance with existing conditions. We can't have 9/10 acres and agricultural zone has to be 10 acres. So there's also a
Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Mark. Is there anyone here that wants to speak in opposition of this zoning request? Hearing none. Thank you all very much for being present. Moving on to Jenny is finished. Mike Dole's assistant, Larry's not here. Rudy is out. Jenny Miller and Mark Warner out. June's already here in the park, June.
I have submitted all of the rainwater conservation grant and paperwork to reference at KIPTA, except for a couple of quotes that I'm working on to accompany the budget, proposed budget. It's due 2 weeks from today, and we'll have everything in plenty of time. That's not a problem to get that up there. Also, I just wanted to report to the court that I've had the opportunity to attend the Kentucky Bike and Walk Summit in Frankfurt Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this last week, and there was some excellent information there about walking and bike trails and Kentucky Department of Transportation monies to help assist with installing those, and partnerships with health department and city and county recreation and government, and I'm very excited about that, and I'm going to start working on that. Starting this week. Just want to let you guys know.
Anything for June? Any questions? You can leave. Okay. Thank you. Okay, moving on. I make a motion to appoint George Roederer to the Zoneton Fire Protection District Board. His term will begin July 1st, 2013, and it will expire June 30th, 2016. Do I hear a second motion? We have a second, and, okay, I'm just glad that I second. Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? So you can have a second.
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo? Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts? Yes. Motion carried.
And number 2 under new business, energy efficiency and conservation of the local government plan. Magistrates, what I need from you is, do you want to pursue this funding? The information is in your packets. Well, the answer to the question is, if the fiscal court wants to send a representative of fiscal court to this April 18th meeting, I cannot go. I have tons of meetings that day. That meeting, the April 18th meeting is in Frankfurt. More information could be obtained. If you all want to designate someone to go, an employee, or anybody who's with the county government. Or, cities can apply for this as well. But since we're county government, let's do that. So I was just thinking, if you all want to, or we want to, send someone to the April 18th meeting. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, just a second. Mark implemented the $300,000 we got back from the federal government that we were given. He implemented that in several buildings in this county, so, okay, do I hear a motion to send Mark Gardner to this meeting?
I make a motion to send Mark Roederer to the energy efficiency and conservation for the local government.
April 18th.
My second.
Oh, I tell you what. Thank you, Bob. We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Yes. And during that, Ms. Brandon, call the roll.
Ms. Ashcraft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Deputy Judge, we will call Mark when he's for this meeting. Well, it's money, but it's all tax dollars. We don't have to use it. And you all can use it.
Say I'm
Lease. Okay, fiscal court member?
Yes, ma'am.
Go right in.
I make a motion to accept the FEMA lease. It's for George and Laura Martin, who lives at 514 Spring House Lane, Louisville, Kentucky, 40229. The property to be leased is now at 581 Sampson Road, Shepherdsville, 40165, consisting of blocks 218 and 219, and the term is for 1 year from April the 20th to at midnight on April the 20th, 2015.
second motion? We have a motion and a second on FEMA lease. Any questions or discussion? Ms. Brandon, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashwell?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roederer?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you so much, Ms. Brandon. And I don't have anything to bring before the court, but we do need to go into executive session concerning, like, oh, I do. That's what the judge. Now, this is concerning the Shepherd Shelter. I don't have to have permission to sign this document, but I like to keep this court informed, and I do believe in transparency. So, I would like to have a motion, I like to have action on me signing this for Shepherd Shelter. This is something I do all the time, and we do it further down. Any questions?
I noticed the other day I got a police scanner, and there was a person they picked up, I believe it was a woman, had nowhere to go, no family, no anything. But I was thinking, we don't have no place for these people to go, and they come on 65 or they're
It's just past the jail, on the right-hand side of the road. My office, my two victims absence, spent an extensive amount of time literally trying to find a placement for these folks. And/or mothers who have been abused. The Shepherd Shelter will only house you for a couple of days. Okay, we have to depend heavily on Jefferson County and Hardin County, depending on the situation is. But my office is a lot.
I think we have a homeless lady actually that's living in Sheffield. If there's not one of this, there's probably two, I would say. So I don't know if this is one of them that they was trying to get someplace for them to go or for her to go or what. But I know there was a lady and a man that was, they were together. That was living over at the park. So I don't know if this was one of those persons or if it was just somebody new that got in here and didn't have anything to do or didn't know what they were doing.
Well, if they ever get to our office or the sheriff's office, we work together on trying to help them, but our resources are limited on what we can do. And usually almost every case, it seems like there's some form of mental illness involved with someone that can kind of more than
Chip, was it one of your guys that picked this one out, or was it city? I haven't been on this.
I believe it's the city.
I'm on the board at Shepherd Shelter, and there is a lot of need for this. They say there's no homelessness in Bullitt County. Lots of times we have 100 to 150 homeless in Bullitt County at any given day. It's really hard. We got two girls in the office that are always constantly taken out through this, and it's really hard to meet the demand that we have.
If you find anybody in need, in the late night or something, who should you get in contact with to help these people?
There's no, we have no sources.
In other words, you can call the sheriff's department or have to be in the city.
We have no resources in this county to handle this type of situation. What I have to do is I look at them on a case by case. If I've got somebody come in, can't feed their kids, can't get clothes or whatever. As a witness, I typically pick up the phone and call people I'm friends with and say, okay, I need you to kick this group in help. We need help with these people. And we don't take a case by case. That's all I can do. And we're stuck.
Now, Gary, if I'm not getting anyone call in the middle of the night, like 2 or 3 in the morning, but if I did, I would give them the Shepherd Shelter. I would give them Sarah McKinney's phone to for help. And someone who needs shelter.
How do you reach that number to be given out?
They're all open during the day, but what needs to happen, and I know this sounds horrible, but we have no place for them to go. If somebody can get them downtown, they can stay at a homeless shelter. And Jefferson County could take them in. E-County, they have to take.
That's what I was getting ready to say. We had guys come to the, when I was working for the attorney that is in Sheffield. And I said, the only place I know that you can go, I can call down at the west side of Christian or some of the others and get you a place. And he said, oh no, I can't go. I think they're just kind of leery about going in there because there's so many people and they're just afraid of it.
I didn't know if it's better to let them just wander the streets or also like.
If you contact Shepherd Shelter, they will do something. I'm very familiar with this organization. In some cases, they will pay for hotel rooms for double nights when somebody's just coming through town. They're not going to house you for a week or a month. That will help you if you're moving into the community. They'll try to help you find some kind of place to stay. They will try to help you find a job. They will do what they can to keep you off the street, but they are funded by individual businessmen in the community, nonprofits, all of them.
I think it's really sad that our county, I mean, we've grown 75,000 people, but we still do not have a place when someone is having a difficult time and one of us may be there at some point. And there's just no place to go here other than Shepherd's Shelter. And as John said, they can't afford to take care of you very long.
That number is 543, just the office number, 543-0660.
Most of these folks need other services that don't need internet, whether it be medical, counseling, etc. We have very limited. Very limited.
What is the number of Shepherd Shelter?
That's it.
Oh, that's that 543 number.
0660, that's the number.
Store too, these folks can shop at. I think they do sell the items to some people at a discounted rate. I encourage everybody when they're getting rid of things, if you go through a pleasure refrigerator, there's nothing wrong with the refrigerator. Call Shepherd Shelter, they will have to get something.
Again, I rely on them. I continue to rely on them. And this fiscal court does provide, how much does the judge now? We do provide, we just started that. We just started providing church shelters $12,000 annually.
Make a motion to authorize the judge to sign the agreement.
Thank you, Magistrate. For your second. Commissioner, we need to sign this paper. Okay, any questions or discussion on the motion? And hearing none, Mr. Brandon, then call roll.
Ms. Ashcroft?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Blackwell?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Ms. Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Now, Magistrate, do you have anything or any questions? Sheriff, County, Heard, got anything? Audience members, taxpayers, do you have anything? Okay, I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
61, 81, paragraph 1. Minor.
61,
810, paragraph 1B.
Okay, I make a motion to go into open session. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Yeah.
We have a motion and a second to go back into open session. Any questions or discussion? And I don't hear anything, so Ms. Brandon, you may call the roll.
Ms. Ashball?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Brandon. Monica, do we need to say anything?
No action was taken.
Thank you. No action was taken. And with that said,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion. We have a motion and a second. Any questions, discussion? Richard, call the roll.
Ms. Ashball?
Yes.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Laszlo?
Yes.
Mr. Bradshaw?
Yes.
Judge Roberts?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you all. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Have a good week.
Oh,